It's important to know what image file to use when designing and building your web apps or sites. There are four main file formats that we can use. Firstly, there's the JPEG file, which stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group. There's a GIF or GIF file, which stands for Graphics Interchange Format. There's the PNG file, Portable Network Graphics. And then there's the SVG file, which stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. Each of these file formats has different strengths and applications. JPEG files are good for photographic images, gradients or complex tonal areas, and lots of natural color. JPEGs use what's called a lossy compression algorithm. Lossy compression simplifies an image and tries to remove unnecessary pixels without altering the overall image overtly. JPEGs aren't really good for block or solid colors, lots of text, or simple graphic shapes. GIFs are good for images like logos, line art, or illustration. GIFs use a lossless compression algorithm which reduces the image to a total number of 256 colors maximum. It builds a color table for the image, and each color is assigned a pixel, kind of like painting by numbers. GIFs support transparency and can also include simple animation. PNG files use the deflate compression method, which is similar to what zip files use. PNGs work good for both line art and photographic images. PNGs make larger files than JPEGs for photographic images, but the quality is often better. PNG supports alpha transparencies, which make them very versatile for web design, but they don't do animation. SVG files retain the vector information inside the file format, so they're scalable and resolution independent. They also save to small file sizes. You can use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to interact with SVG files to create animation and interactivity. They're not as widely supported as the previous three file formats. When preparing images for the web, sRGB is recommended. sRGB defines the color space of devices used to view images on the web. RGB is what we call an additive color mode. A light source within a device creates particular colors by mixing amounts of red, green, and blue. When choosing or mixing colors for web designs, we generally manipulate the color's RGB values. Each channel has values that range from 0 to 255. The higher the value, the lighter the color or tone. For example, R255, G255, and B255 is white. When all the values are equal to 0, we have black. When referencing colors in the web, we can also use the hex system or hexadecimal system. A hex color is expressed as a 6-digit combination of numbers 0 to 9 and letters A through to F. A hex color code is shorthand for its RGB values. We can easily find the hex code of a color by using the Photoshop color picker. Traditionally, we've worked at 72 pixels per inch when making images for the web, because this was the resolution of standard computer screens and monitors. Recently, devices have been manufactured with screens of a much higher pixel density, meaning they pack more pixels into every unit of space. This has made it necessary to create images with many more pixels or to create multiple images for different screen densities. It is really important that your sites and apps load efficiently for your audiences. A slow loading site can create a poor user experience. Make sure that your images are optimized and scaled to an appropriate size. You'll want to ensure that images look as good as they can, but also don't drag the performance of your site or app down. Bandwidth should also be considered, because it's a resource. If images are unnecessarily large, transferring that data can be an unwanted cost. It's very important to name your image files cleanly and correctly. Always make sure that you include the appropriate file extension. Do not leave any spaces or weird characters in your file names. A browser may find it difficult to interpret or render poorly named files, causing broken links or your website or app to run poorly.